Peyton Place. Starring Ed Nelson as Michael Rossi, Ryan O'Neal as Rodney Harrington, Barbara Parkins as Betty Anderson, Christopher Connolly as Norman Harrington, Patricia Morrow as Rita Harrington, James Douglas as Stephen Cord, Elizabeth Walker as Carolyn Russell, and also starring Barbara Rush as Marcia Russell.
Betty Harrington takes over. As the people of the town approach the chapel to pay their respects to the memory of Martin Peyton, Betty places herself in the position of authority, wanting to establish a new fact of Peyton Place life, that she and her husband Rodney are about to inherit a vast fortune, and that in a strange way the young Harringtons will replace Martin Peyton. And while the whole town appears to be moving toward the church, Dr. Miles heads for his place of work, the hospital.
My sympathies.
Thank you, Dr. Miles. You didn't know my grandfather, did you?
Yes, we met once.
How's my sweetheart?
Squash. I'm frozen.
Let me take that. Give me a pocketbook. Oh, I've always liked that coat on you.
Oh. Coming off.
Yeah, let me see. Asseyez-vous, ma chérie. You know, I've never seen this place so empty.
It's probably the services for Mr. Peyton.
Oh, yes, that's right. When I read the obituary in the Boston paper, I said to my friend, I guess old Peyton found a way to take it with him, or he would not have gone.
How is Donna?
Donna? Well, she's fine.
Well, would you tell her that I said hello?
Look, sweetheart,
Oh, no, I think I know what I want. I would like a club sandwich and a glass of milk, please.
What's the businessman's special?
Today's the Yankee pot roast.
That'll do it for me, and another cup of coffee. Carolyn, I wouldn't want you to make too much of this Donna thing.
No, I know. I wasn't trying to be sarcastic. I really wanted to know. I know that you and Mother are divorced. I wouldn't want you to spend your lives alone.
Now, don't start hearing wedding bells. Donna and I are just friends.
Well, that's up to you. I'm really much more adult than you think I am.
Oh, I can see that. The way your mother talked to me on the phone.
I'm sorry she made you rush all the way down here from Boston.
Oh, that's all right. I gather she's concerned about you and some boy.
You mean Jeff?
Are you still seeing him?
We're in the same class.
Aside from school?
Occasionally. I suppose it's like you and Donna. Don't start listening for wedding bells.
You're not pinned or going steady or anything like that?
No, we just like each other.
Carolyn, I've asked you a few questions, and you've answered me without making a fuss about it. I wonder why you can't do the same thing with your mother.
Maybe it's because she is my mother. Anyway, you know what she thinks.
What's that?
She thinks that Jeff and I are having an affair.
Oh, that's ridiculous. She knows you better than that? Anyway, promise me you'll try a little harder to get along with your mother.
I'll try.
Thank you. How's it coming at school?
So far, so good.
expect to graduate first in your class?
Not unless something happens to Lou.
Lou?
Lou Miles. He won the Men's Club Achievement Award last year.
Yes, that Negro boy. I thought he was going to New York.
Only for the summer.
They know when they're well off. Not that they're not welcome here. I understand they're a fine family, a credit to the community.
Daddy, you just sound so patronizing.
Well, I meant it as a compliment. I've got to start back. Right after we eat.
So soon?
Have to keep the nose to the old grindstone. But don't worry, sweetheart. You'll be seeing a lot more of me.
I hope so.
I know you're going through a pretty rough time right now. But you got your old dad to help you over the bumps. Just stick with me, baby. And everything's gonna be fine.
Listen, darling, there are some details I have to discuss with Mr. Kennerly. About your grandfather, the columbarium. I want to make sure that everything is just the way he wanted it. And since you couldn't do it, I thought that I should.
All right.
Can I give you a hand with it?
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Mr. Kennerly, could I have a word with you?
Of course.
About the columbarium, Mr. Peyton's instructions were very specific. Now, I do hope all the proper arrangements have been made.
I talked to the gentleman in charge. They'll take care of everything.
Well, I only wish that Rod were able to do this himself, but as it is, I thought I should check with you.
I understand, Mrs. Harrington.
Well, I do take it that everything else is in order.
We'll begin to process the estate. Then we'll get the probate underway.
But that will take a long time.
In this case, I'm afraid so. Mr. Peyton's financial affairs were complex, to say the least.
Well, I'm sure you'll keep Rod and me informed.
There'll be papers to go over, to sign. We'll contact you. Will that be all?
Yes, thank you.
Weddings and funerals, funerals and weddings. You know, I once tried to convince Tom to construct a barn here, but he didn't think it was such a good idea.
You know, when I was a boy, I lost myself in picture books about the glories of the Roman Empire. I was fascinated by funerals, all the pomp and circumstance. In my mind's eye, I could see Martin Peyton's cortege marching into the Colosseum. I don't know why a cortege would go into the Colosseum, but mine did.
She's taking over, Stephen.
I used to think a funeral was quite an event. This was small and important. It simply didn't match the man.
I said she's taking over.
You know, I can hear the talk in Boston now. Eloquently simple, they'll say. Eloquently simple, my eye. Insignificant and unimportant.
Okay, let's pretend it didn't happen.
So she's taking over.
Where does that leave you?
On the outside, looking in for a change. In my own way, in my own time, I'll fight back. But it'll have to be with my choice of weapons and in my arena.
Don't wait too long.
In my own way, in my own time, I won't be pushed.
Do I sound too bloodthirsty?
Let me ask you something. Who are you concerned about? You want to help me? Or do you want to hurt Betty?
Why not have it both ways?